What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dim Studios podcast. Today we have my wife here, Angie, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about how we first met. We get that question asked a lot, especially because we work together,
Yeah, that's right.
and we've been working together for what, like since 2017? I think that's when I went full time.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Like 7 years. 7 years working full time together. Anyways, so I'm gonna start off the story, and then you can add to it as we go.
Okay.
All right. So it was 1999.
99.
Well, in 1999, I came back to Yuma from California because we were living in California. I moved back to Yuma in '99, started working here, and then my cousins at the time, Adriana, Noemi, and Bianca, were playing softball with Angie. And they asked me if I wanted to help coach. So I was like, all right, yeah, that'd be cool, you know. So I went to help her coach, and then that's, I started. I didn't really notice you right away, to be honest.
What? You skip a part.
Oh, what did I skip?
When they introduce us.
Oh, when I first started helping.
No. Your cousin, Adriana, she said, I want you to meet my cousin. Prieto. And I was like, oh, okay, sure.
But was I already coaching, helping?
No. I was
So it was
playing.
before I started helping?
Yeah, I was
Oh.
playing. I was gonna play that day, and then so after the game, they introduced us right away, and I was like, oh, "Okay, nice to meet you." Blah blah blah, and bye.
So there was like nothing there.
No sparks.
There's no sparks there to begin with. I thought I don't remember meeting you before I started helping coach.
Yeah. We were
So
at
maybe
the
I did,
baseball.
yeah.
We were at the baseball field.
Yeah, I was probably just out there hanging out
Yeah.
and watching you guys play.
Uh-huh.
I think Bianca invited me to go watch you guys play. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
So I went. So then
that's
I think
how we met.
so I think and then in 2000 that's when I think I started helping coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember the first time I seen you, because you were late that day for some reason.
I was never late. No,
You
edit.
you were late that day to the game.
What?
And I remember I was there, and then I seen you running towards the field, and your hair was long back then. Your hair was long, and it was brown. And then it looked like you looked like Pamela Anderson running down the beach in slow motion.
Shut up! No.
Your hair like this, like whooshing. And I was like, okay, I see you. Yeah, and I think that was the first time that I actually noticed you, like really noticed you, and I was like, oh, all right. So then I started coaching. I was helping them, doing the lineup and helping coach on base and stuff. And then you guys got me a jersey. And they got me a jersey, the team name was Diablitas, which is the little devils, female devils. She devils, that's what it is, right? Mm-hmm. She devil. And then the jersey that they got me like fit me all tight on my armpit. Like it fit me fine here, but right here in my arms, it fit me all tight. So I was like, damn, this freaking jersey fits me all tight. So then I think my cousin, I don't know whose idea it was for me to just.
Yours. It was your idea.
I thought.
Because I remember seeing you. Let me go back. Okay. So I think I should tell this part of the story. So, like I said before, when we first met,
Yeah.
there was no sparks.
Right.
Like,
yeah, because I don't like I said, I don't remember really like, oh, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't like till afterwards.
So I saw you. So I was like, yeah, sure. Nothing special. Nothing.
It's like, oh, it's just some Mexican kid.
Yeah. With short, your shorts were long, like under your
I used
leg.
to wear like really baggy shorts.
Yeah, like a weird style. Not my
Almost like
style.
not a cholo, but like
Not
that's just the way
yeah.
we used to wear our shorts. They were big and long.
And then long socks,
Long
and then with shoes.
Hey, the higher the socks, the downer the fool.
See that I was not into that. So I was like, okay, yeah, he looks nice, blah blah blah. But then when you started coaching us, and yeah, your shirt was pretty tight, and why need I didn't know. Hold on, I didn't notice your your body before, like your muscles, and then yeah,
Because all the baggy clothes.
yeah, because
And you know what? At that time, I was working out a lot too. I lived pretty much part time at the gym.
Hey, you're getting ahead.
All right, sorry.
Hold on.
Sorry. We'll
Slow
cut that part out.
down.
We'll edit that.
Slow down. So yeah, so then yeah, your shirt looked pretty tight. So yeah, I just saw you. I don't know what I was doing, but for some reason I started staring at you, cause yeah, you felt. It seems like you were very uncomfortable with your shirt.
Yeah,
because
it
it was
was
pretty tight from the arms.
It
right
was
from the
bothering me
arms.
on my armpit, right? It was really tight, like
Okay.
underneath here and like on my shoulder.
So then I just saw you went like, boom, from one side, tearing one of your sleeves,
Yeah.
and then you did the other sleeve, and I was like, what the? I saw your muscles, like huge muscles, like big, like nice, and then a very nice tattoo, and to me that was like, oh my god, look at this guy, like he has some guns. Yeah, so it looked pretty hot.
Did I have the sun tattoo?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
okay, I
one that
already
I
had
saw
that
right
one.
away. Yeah, that's the one that, and not only me, I think it was me and my friends behind me. So we were all staring at you like, what the heck? Like it was weird. So from that day, I am gonna say that, wow,
So that's when you noticed me.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Because of my body.
But you know, like I we talked before and you were nice. But yeah, to be honest, it was more of your muscles.
What the heck?
Your muscles and your tattoos and from that day everything. It
So I
was a
think
10
then
plus.
I don't even remember how. I think I asked my cousin for your phone number because I think I called you first, and I asked my cousin for your phone number, and then I called you up, and then I was like, hey, you wanna go to a movie or something or hang out at my house? I forgot what we did the first time.
The very first date?
Did we go? Yeah.
We went, I was wearing a black dress and you got a flat tire. Wasn't that the first date?
No. We were already dating. You're talking about when we went to Chili's?
Oh, yeah.
No, we were already dating. I think one of the first times we started
The
dating.
movies.
We probably went to the movies or something, and then we went back to my house, and then we went swimming
Okay.
or something like that. No, but I think one of the dates I remember, we went to go watch Coyote Ugly.
Yeah,
Remember
but
that?
before Coyote Ugly, it was another movie.
I don't
One
remember
that
what
you
it was.
picked up. I don't remember which one it was, but when you invited me, you know, I was like, oh, we're going to the movies. He's going to hold my hand and blah, blah, blah. I was excited. And then, yeah, it was a movie that you liked.
Yeah.
Because the whole time you didn't hold my hand. Like you were like
I didn't know you that way.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, whatever. So yeah, you were into the movie, and well, I was expecting more, not in a bad way, but you know,
Yeah.
like a flirty way, like hold my
I thought I was
hand,
gonna
or
like hit on you. And
yeah. So I was like, oh my god, and that's one thing I did like, that you were kind of shy. That's something that I like. I don't like crazy.
I think I was
guys.
just trying to be respectful.
But till this point, I mean, you're like a little bit shy. You are.
I think
You're not
I
loud.
observed first, and then it's like, okay, I think I can really be myself now. No, I'm just kidding.
It's been 18 years and you're still a little bit shy. So what?
But not just. No, I'm not saying just like with you. I'm talking about in public. You know what I mean? Like when we meet people and stuff. Like I don't. Like I make sure that I'm gonna feel comfortable with the people I'm around first before I'm myself, I guess. But
no, but you're still like shy. I like that. You're
I think
like, you're not loud.
well, it's something that you know about me now is that if I go to the movies,
Now I know.
like I go to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna go to the movies, I'm gonna watch the movie. I don't like I'll hold your hand, but I'm gonna be watching the movie.
Well, you didn't grab my hand. You didn't give me a little kissy. Nothing.
It's the first date. What do you mean?
No, it was already like.
But yeah, we hit it off. We started dating a little bit more here and there, and then I ended up moving. I ended up moving to Phoenix, and then how long was I gone for? Like 2 years?
2-3 years, yeah.
I don't think it was 3. What was crazy is how, I guess, it's that saying, like, what's that saying where if it's meant to be, like, if you let him go and if it's meant to be, you come back. So it was crazy because I was gone for 2 years. We hardly ever talked after that.
We didn't talk at all.
No, huh?
Well, yeah, we were like, you left. I don't even know if you even told me that you were leaving.
No?
No, because like I said before to all my friends, every time you will say, Angie, you want to come over here? I'll be like, yeah. It was more like what they say, but no, I'm not going to say it.
It was not a booty call.
How was his booty call? Yeah, I was.
No, because you were like the only one that I would hang out with.
No, it was always like your way. Like I was so into you. Like,
yeah.
Like I was ready. I was ready to get married and everything. I mean, I didn't.
Well, we were already in our 20s, in our.
Maybe I was in my 30s.
No.
I know,
What the heck?
no. I know what the heck. Yeah,
We weren't that old.
No, but yeah, it was like I was on my late 20s.
You were like 25, mid 20s. So, anyways, it was weird because I was gone, and the way we kind of found each other again was through, hardship, I guess you'd want to call it, because at the time, my brother passed away. My brother had passed away, and I was already thinking of like I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna move back home. And then your friend passed away, and then that was a tough one. So it was just like we both experienced loss, and then finally I was like, I'm gonna move back. I'm gonna move back home, and I moved back home, and then the first thing I thought about was you. You know what I mean? When I moved back home, and then so I called you up, and. I think you were seeing somebody else at the time. You were seeing. I remember.
Babe, I was with a guy that day. Like,
yeah, you had a guy over at your house.
Because we were gonna go to my friends. It was like a gathering, like. So yeah, I was getting ready. He was waiting for me, and then you called, and I just told him like, oh.
So I called her and I said, "Hey, what are you up to?" And then she's like, "Oh, like she." I was
so freaking surprised.
I don't think you even told me that your friend was there or the guy you were seeing was there.
I didn't care about my friend.
And then I said, "Hey, you want to go to a movie or something?" And then I guess you canceled all plans with him to go to the movies with me.
I was dating that guy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a formal thing, so I was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hearing your voice after 2 years. Wow.
And then after our first date, and then we started seeing each other again, that's when, for me, it was just like, yeah, she's the one.
Yeah, after 2 years. Like, I was ready. Like, when we met.
I don't think I was ready yet, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I was ready yet.
Well,
to
no,
settle
obviously
down.
you weren't.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was always on your time. Yes, and then well, I used to live in San Luis, Arizona, and then you in Yuma, and it was so hard for you to come see me, visit me, because you kept saying, it's too
freaking
far.
far. It's like driving.
It's like driving to Phoenix, and I was like, oh my god.
Well,
Bien
and then
codo.
gas was expensive.
Yeah, sí, verás. No, I don't think so. I think you just weren't into me. That's why. No.
It's not that I wasn't into you, but I don't think
You weren't
I
ready.
was ready for a serious commitment. I think
Yeah.
it was. But then, like I said, once the second time came around, like I really started appreciating our dates, and then I fell for you, and then that's when everything just kind of, yeah, she's the one.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
was.
But I feel like I feel like if we had gone serious the first time, I feel like it wouldn't have worked out because I think we were still both so independent and doing our thing. Because look at how hard it was our first year.
No, well, see, now you're like that's what you think. No, I was ready the very first time that I met you. I mean, after you ripped your shirt, yeah. From there, I was ready. I was ready because I knew you were the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew right away. I knew you were the one, but like you said, you left, and then when you came back a little bit different.
Just a couple pounds more.
Yeah, it's a couple pounds, but yeah, but still, I mean, and we forgot you had your piercing, your nipple piercing. That's a lot of good things.
My nipple. So yeah, I think we dated for like a year and a half.
I don't think no.
Yeah,
I
we
think
dated
it was less.
No, it was about a year or so, and then I proposed.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it was because I proposed in 2006 because my brother passed away in 2002, and then I came back probably like in 2003. So we dated about a couple years,
Yeah.
and then I proposed, and then we got married, and then we got divorced.
Too much.
The next chapter of
Oh
our
my
life.
God, no. Yeah.
You know what was crazy is that, like they say, like you don't really know your couple until you live with them. As far as like how you're gonna get along, and so I think when we finally got married and moved in together, like I said earlier, like I think we were just so independent because you were already. I was 29. You were 30.
30.
I was 28.
Yeah,
No,
'cause I'm
I got married when I was 29 and you were 31.
Because it's like 2 years.
Yeah, you're
¿verdad?
2 years older than me. Because you
Yeah,
cougar.
that's right. As altacunas.
And we had a lot of conflict, I guess, like because she wanted to do her thing, I wanted to do my thing, and there was a lot of lack of communication. I think it was, and then so we just decided to kind of part ways. Got divorced, and we had Damien. Damien was just born, actually. Damien had just been born, and then we were a very rocky relationship in the beginning.
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad.
And then we ended up getting divorced. We weren't. It wasn't even a year after we separated.
No, it was like 9 months. I think it took 9 months for us to get back together.
And then once again, like I don't know. I started thinking about you a lot again.
Better.
And then like, cause I would have Damien, when I would have Damien over at the house, and then me and him would be by ourselves, and I was like, man, like I started missing you a lot, just as a family and stuff. And then,
That's right, because I was a good girl.
yeah, so I was also a good girl. And I think one time I was like, hey, come over, or no. I think we met up at the parking lot at the mall.
2 times you stood me up. Like, I mean, not stood me up, but There was one time I was at work, and then you told me like, "Hey, come outside," blah blah blah. When I was done with my shift, and then we were talking. You estás tomado. You had a few beers.
We were watching UFC fights at my friend's house.
Yeah, because I guess you had a few drinks. Or?
No, I would never drive like that.
No, my bad.
So let's just say I was feeling good.
Yeah. Because I could see your eyes. They were like...
What? Like puppy eyes?
Yes. Yeah. No, it's like good. Yeah. It's like, Yeah, so... Yeah, I knew you wanted to kiss me. I knew you wanted to hold my hand. But...
So did you.
Of course.
But you did. We did end up kissing.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, that night, nothing.
Okay.
Because I think you're talking about the other night. There was 2 nights.
Yeah, there was another one where I think I was wearing like a tank top or something.
That's the one. Tank
okay.
tops, Levi's, and sandals. Like always, shaguaraches.
Chanclas.
Chanclas. Yeah. So I was like, I was ready to come back. I was ready to get back into my marriage, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, I was already divorced.
Yeah,
So-
we were divorced, so we needed to get remarried.
But again, I was ready to go back to you, but no, it didn't happen. You left, I left, and then I don't know if a week or 2-3 days later, you go and you go look for me again after my shift. See.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and
you
then we
getting
were
off work.
behind one of those buildings. I don't know which one. So yeah, then that's when you started hugging me. We started kissing and
It was like we were dating again.
yeah, and I thought we were going to get back together, but nope.
No.
No.
No, yeah, because then you started kind of
No.
coming over
No.
in the mornings.
No. Because after that, you made me like, I told you a few things. Hey, we're going to do this and that. And I guess you didn't agree, but you never told me. And the following days, you just stopped texting me, like calling me back. Nothing. So you left it there. And then on Mother's Day, you sent me another, like a Happy Mother's Day thing. And from there, we started talking again. That's when we started. Yeah, it was always me.
I think I remember when I started kind of wanting to get back together was, even though I was still fighting it. Remember when I took Damien to Montana with me? Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
because we were together that night, and then I took Damien to Montana with me. And then even then going to Montana, just me and him, and then with my brother and stuff. Like it was always like something was missing, and it was you're missing as a couple, as a family. And I think finally talking it over and realizing what we needed to do, which is communication. And also not just the communication, but also finding a middle ground. Finding a middle ground to like, hey, it's not always going to be your way. It's not always going to be my way. We got to figure out, we're a team. So we got to figure out how we can make things work together as a team. And so I think, we finally moved in together again. And then kind of we still had our arguments here and there and fights, but I think we were able to at least talk them over and get things worked out.
Yeah, when we got back, it was really good. Yeah, we understood each other, and that's when we
realized how much we missed each other.
And we knew, like, we were meant for each other, and
then was it like about a year later we got remarried?
It was exactly a year because we got married on the same date.
Yeah, but it was like 2 years later though.
2 years?
Yeah.
I thought it was only 1 year.
No, it was longer than that. And you know what's crazy is that I think with everything that we've been through, it's crazy because people ask us like, "You guys work together?" We're like, "Yeah, we work together. We, full time." Because we've had other couples that that work together, and they're like, dude, I just want to kill her, or ay, ya no lo aguanto, because they're together like all the time at work and at home. But I don't know, for us, we just make it work because you do your own thing, I do my thing, and then if we need to communicate with something, we talk it over, and then okay, this is how we're gonna do things. And then I think because also we like what we do, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you do your part when it comes down to doing our videos, and then she does the creative part of things, doing the costumes and all that other stuff, and then I just film and edit, and then we just make it work. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's our story, and we're sticking to it. And then we had Dion, and no, you had that miscarriage, huh? Before we had Dion.
Oh yeah.
So we would have had Damien would have had a sibling closer to his age, but you had that first miscarriage, which is it considered a miscarriage, even though it never like formed, but
You're asking the wrong person. I'm not a doctor.
Because I guess the sac was there, right?
The sac was there, but there was no baby.
But there was just nothing formed or something like that.
Yeah. And I was pregnant. Yeah. I was pregnant,
Yeah.
but with no baby.
Yeah.
I was getting all the symptoms and everything, but no baby.
Yeah.
And then, how did we find out? Did I go or? Oh, no. Or was it when I got that rash on my body? Oh, no, that was the second
way later.
baby.
Yeah. No, I think when they did the ultrasound, they saw that there was nothing forming, that you only had the sac or something.
Oh.
And then that's when they did that. What's that procedure called that they do?
DNC?
And then we had Dion. That's why they're 4 years apart? Yeah, huh? Yeah, they're 4 years apart. Or else we would have had Damon would have been 2, and we would have had another baby. But she had the miscarriage, and we had Dion. And then again, we were gonna have another baby right close to Dion's age.
Dion was a preemie.
Oh yeah, Dion was a preemie. Dion was born at 7 months, so he had to be in the NICU for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
But they were gonna keep him longer, but he
Yeah, he showed that, hey, I'm going home.
But look at him now.
Yeah, no, man. Now Dion's a crazy athlete, and he's just
very aggressive.
I think he overcame a lot of obstacles as a baby. So, I mean.
And remember, they said, oh, no, he's not going to be able to blah, 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 blah. And he did everything, like right away.
I think the only thing Dion had was, even Dominic, too, I think they had trouble with their speech for a while. Like, they couldn't say, like, they weren't able to really talk until they were like 4 or 5, right before kindergarten. Because remember when Dion had like his 3rd birthday, and I think we were already doing videos, or his 4th birthday, and then you were telling him to say, like, thank you for coming to my party, and then you go, thank you for the party. He couldn't even say the line. He's like, I can't say it. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after Dion, then we were gonna have, like I said, we were gonna have another baby, and that one did have the, like it started to develop.
Yeah.
But then you started bleeding a lot.
No, that's not the one, babe. I didn't have any bleeding. I was at
What
work.
happened with the second one? The second miscarriage you had?
Okay, so I was at work and I had my ¿qué era? ¿Cómo se llama eso? El ultrasound or whatever. Like the follow-up. I had a follow-up. So I went to my appointment, just regular. It was like the 2nd month. And then they were doing the ultrasound, and then they called the other doctor, and then another one, and then they had me do something else. And at the end of the day, well, they told me there was they didn't find the heartbeat.
Oh.
There was no heartbeat. And I remember I had to go back to work that day, so I just called work and I told them, you know what? I'm gonna go home. And then I called you. I think were you out of town, or were you?
Yeah, I think I was already working out of town.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I told you, and then remember I also had what are those called? They look like,
Ringworms.
see, it looked like all over my body, and they said that it was a reaction to, I guess, the baby, like
And then 2 years later, Dominic came along.
Dominic. But
So that was your tough pregnancy,
Yeah.
huh? Well, because remember, we thought you had miscarriage.
we thought
That
we
was
had
scary.
another one. Yeah,
That was.
we thought even we saw it.
Yeah, we thought it came out. We're like, oh, bye, Dominic.
There was another.
That was scary because I remember you got scared, and then right away we took you to the doctor to get checked,
Yeah,
and no, baby was still there
yeah. I remember I saw Punky there at the.
at the hospital.
Yeah, it was in the hospital. It was
Oh,
at the clinic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and she was there too. I guess her first pregnancy. And I remember I was crying, and she was like, "What happened?" I was like, "Ah." I couldn't even talk, but yeah, she was there. And then, yeah, they told me that the baby was there.
Yeah,
And there's Dominic.
and then there's Dominic, and then we're done.
Yeah, I wanted more, but they said like, no more.
Yeah, they said, well,
Yeah.
you're getting up there in age.
Well, they told me that since Damien, since my very first baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Because I got
Really?
married
Since
late.
Damien?
See, the lady told me. Yeah, the doctor told me. Did you know the blah blah blah? There's a risk and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, barely, this is my first baby.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's how we have 3 boys.
Blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, glad, and it's crazy to think about it now because, like, you think about it now and it's like if we had never gotten back together, there would have been no Dion and no Dominic.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. But what I'm saying is that now that we have them, like, there's no way that there would be a world without them. That I couldn't have, like, there would be no way to live without them, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just having them now. But yeah, that's our love story. Hope you enjoyed our story. Hope you enjoyed how we met.
Mm-hmm. We met.
And yeah. Thank you for watching. Sure to subscribe, like the video. Until next time, let us know if we should do more episodes together as a couple. People are going to want us.
Or any questions.
Yeah.
For us.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.